is going on? Okay, I pressed the unmute button. What is up, BeatStars family? Welcome to another episode of BeatStars Academy. We are your hosts, Jamil and Levi Beats. Today, we're going to be talking about
services. Talking about services. So we're going to talk about what kind of services you can offer with the Pro Page subscription. So mixing and mastering services, collaboration services, and a ton of stuff like that. So yeah, so it's going to be an exciting show. We've also got some exclusive stuff to talk to you about, some potential new playlists. I believe Jamil's always coming with those cool exclusives each week for the BeatStars Academy.
Yes, sir.
People that join in. So yeah, I'm just going to say, at one stage we're going to get this intro right. By the way, at one stage we will get it right. So everyone that's in the chat, we really appreciate you coming every week, and we really apologise for some of the starts of our shows because they're not always the smoothest. You would have thought we would have had it down by now, but
yeah, I feel like we go kind of in and out sometimes. Usually it's really good. And then every once in a while, I think what happened today is that you were trying to unmute me, and then I was trying to unmute myself simultaneously, and then it just ended up me being muted again, which is fine. I feel like that's just kind of like one of the recurring gags of this show, where you might not hear me for a couple of seconds until I realize I'm not muted.
It just makes us look human. We're not robots.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So. As Levi said, we are going to be talking about setting up services on BeatStars. We're going to be going over how to create a service, some of the best practices for services that you can do, and give you some examples of what kind of services you can offer. Over the last few weeks on BeatStars Academy, as we've been doing pro page reviews, we've seen a few interesting services that have really caught our attention. So we wanted to kind of go back and highlight those and just kind of like give everybody once and for all, like, you know, our definitive like favorites and some unique ones that we've heard and thought of.
Yeah, there was a really interesting one last week, actually, that we was both really impressed about. So if you missed last week's show, go and check that one out, because this pro page that we was reviewing was offering a really interesting idea for a service, which we'll probably touch on actually when we start doing that at the end of the show. But yeah, anyway, just how's your week been, Jamil?
It's been pretty good. Working on some new tutorials, some interesting things for the BeatStars community. We're really deep into October now, spooky season. I'm excited for that. I do have a bit of bad news. The jam with Jamil for last week, well, it wasn't bad news, but it did get canceled because we did that community check-in, which I was super excited. We saw some of you in the chat in there. That was really fun. So make sure you guys don't miss the next community check-in. It's always a really good time. We invite the BeatStars community, some of our sellers, artists, producers on a platform to just come on and hang out with us and have a discussion about anything.
Yeah,
that's always fun. Levi was there too. I put my background as with Levi's studio, so it was like we were in the same room
together. Yeah. That was kind of really cool, actually. It was kind of good. Jamil was being the Joker that day, but no, it was good. Yeah, and it was actually good to see some of the faces that come to BeatStars Academy. Some of you guys and girls actually came to join that show as well, which was really, really good. So it was good to see you guys in there. Do we have a bit of housekeeping to do as well?
Yeah, let's go into some housekeeping. So first thing that I wanted to talk about, let me share my screen really quickly with everybody. Last week, we did announce that we do have a new submission process for pro page reviews, which we do every week on BeatStars Academy. So you can submit to this form here and get your pro page reviewed by us. Visit beatstars.world/opportunities and click on that link for pro page submissions, and then you could submit to us. So you just tell us your BeatStars username. Mine is Jamil. You tell us your BeatStars pro page URL. Make sure you are submitting your default BeatStars pro page URL. So like for mine, because it's my username, would be jamil.beatstars.com. And then let's put submit, and you're all done. We'll receive this directly, and we pick for the last half hour of our show every week. We pick pro pages from there to review live and talk about. So it is not too late to submit for this week. So if you're watching this week and you'd like your pro page reviewed, visit beatstars.world/opportunities and submit your pro page to us today. And hopefully we'll get to some of those later on in the show. Next up, we will do, we'll go back to the BeatStars homepage. And I wanted to update you all on some of our new playlisting opportunities. Like we always say, so you don't miss out on any opportunities, we would recommend customizing your dashboard and moving this opportunity section up to the top, just because we're posting so many every week. It's good to keep it updated here, but you could also see it in this section here, My Media Opportunities. And we posted some new ones this week. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head which ones were exactly the new ones. I think it's these at the bottom here.
So Bryson Tiller was a new one.
Yeah, Bryson Tiller, Doja Cat, Anita, Techno, Lil Durk, I believe is new. J Hus, I think, is new. And then a couple of these were up from last week. So these stay up for about 2 weeks. So make sure you submit as soon as they go up. And our playlisting manager, Tia, will be listening to all your tracks and playlisting the best ones. So you don't want to miss out on any opportunity if you're posting beats for any of these artists. Make sure you check back often.
Definitely. Make sure you submit. And Cloud9's mentioned that you submit to all of them. Yeah, why not? If you submit to all of them, if you've got tracks that fit in them, submit to all of them. Definitely, for sure. It's going to give you the best opportunity to get some more exposure.
Right. Exactly. Okay, and what we can do now is and we can just go ahead and kind of start getting to today's topic, I think.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to mention the 2 playlists at the bottom too that I think which was Buy My Beat Friday, which is coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys submit to that one, because the last time me and Abe done it, we didn't actually buy that many beats. So we want to make sure there's a good amount of beats in there. So Abe gets a chance to choose from some next time. And then also the BeatStars Live playlist, which is, you heard at the beginning of the show that we was playing a track. So that gives you an opportunity to get your tracks played at the beginning of our live shows. So make sure you submit to those too.
Right. Cool.
Cool.
All right, let's get right into it. So to create a service on BeatStars, you need to hover over the My Media tab and go to your services section in your account. Okay, so what is a service and how does it kind of differ from other things that you could sell or offer on BeatStars? So the few main things that you can offer on BeatStars, obviously, you could sell beats or full songs. You can sell albums, sound kits, which are like, a drum kit, a collection of different sounds that somebody can use when they're producing music. And then there are also memberships, which are monthly subscriptions to like either your beats or your albums, where you can offer people a particular number of licenses per month for one fixed price. Services is kind of like for selling everything else. So just to give you some examples of the things that BeatStars sort of has listed, what we can do from this screen is we can create a new service. And then we have these categories here that kind of give you some ideas of the things that you could sell. So some of the most popular things that you can do are beat mixing or song mixing, song mastering. So a bunch of like engineering stuff. You can offer collaboration services. So if you are like a well-known producer or you have a lot of credits under your belt and people want to work with you, you can create a nice, simple way to charge people for collabs. A custom song, so you can create entire songs for people. You can offer vocal production services, recording, consultations. You can offer your marketing services, sound design, graphic design, logo design, which are a couple of my favorite things that you can offer on BeatStars, because there's so many people that do need a little bit of help creating their logos for their pro pages and really solidifying their branding. So if you're good at that, these are all cool things that you can offer. Offer DJ services, audio, video editing, mixing and mastering. but you are not limited to any of these categories. You can really offer anything music related, or creative and design related on BeatStars.
Yeah, someone just dropped one in the chat actually. About to add scratches because not everyone is a DJ. So that was mine made. So that's actually a cool idea. You can put that under the DJ section, and you could, create custom scratches for someone's track or beat on BeatStars, which is kind of really cool. That's kind of something different. I actually know a few producers that would love to learn how to actually do some scratching. So it's kind of a good service to offer.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. So I think what Levi and I over the last few weeks have sort of like come to the conclusion on is that if you do something unique that you feel like you have a special skill in that other people may not have, you should offer that as a service on BeatStars.
Definitely.
We've seen some crazy, amazing, unique, like interesting things. Like we saw somebody offering, what was it? It was like trumpet or sax accompaniment.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was trumpet or something like that. It was some kind of brass kind of service. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Again, obviously, you're going to keep it musical, kind of to a certain extent. But if there's a particular instrument that's kind of a bit odd, a bit out there, like for myself, I play the accordion a little bit, right? So maybe I could offer that as a service, like just add an accordion to someone's beat or something. Just something that's a little bit different. It's going to kind of make you stand out from the normal kind of mixing and mastering services that you can offer, which is obviously cool because that's still definitely a viable service to offer, especially if you're selling beats, right? So you're going to be selling beats, and now you can obviously always offer that. It's kind of like you're offering you're upselling yourself a little bit because you're not only selling them a beat, but you're also offering a service to mix their song for them too. So that's always going to be a viable option, right?
Right.
But yeah, just like certain things, like if there's one of the, it's like some kind of, I wouldn't say weird instrument, but maybe not the normal kind of instrument that you play, that would be kind of cool to offer it. So because you wouldn't know, like someone might be interested to find out how that would sound on one of their tracks, so, and it could turn out really amazing. Yeah, so it's just, again, there's no limits. I don't think there's any limits. I think, a lot of these services and features and all these things that we offer, we always say this pretty much every week, but there is no limits to what you can create. You just need to think a little bit outside the box. Reunion's asking me to play him some accordion. Maybe not live, man. Yeah, I might just scare you guys off. But yeah, like just really think like, what is it you can actually offer people? Sorry, that was bad, Buffet. You shouldn't have said that. But yeah,
I
like
read that too.
These like just really think about it. Can be anything. Like it really can be anything. I mean, I can't think of anything in particular off the top of my head that I have skills at, but I'm sure you guys and girls, what kind of skill would you kind of offer if you was a producer on a platform? What do you have, Jamil, that you could maybe offer? I know it's kind of putting you on the spot a bit, but that you could maybe offer that's kind of a little bit different, maybe.
Well, I did. Well, thank you, by the way, for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome.
With that one. But luckily, I am ready because Bufo actually made a good point. Or actually, it was a question. He was talking about like voice tags. Do people offer voice tag services? Yes, they do. Something that I want to point out before I forget about it. That can kind of be another way to give you ideas besides what our little brainstorming session right now is the way that you would find services on BeatStars is by using the search bar, the same bar that you use to find Drake type beats. You could do other things. You could do other things with it too. So you can search for just this little drop down menu. You can search for tracks, musicians, playlists, albums, sound kits, and at the bottom services. So let's just do this voice tag. And then we can change this section either in this drop down or over here on the filters. We can look for services. And we can see a bunch of different people offering voice tag services already on BeatStars. So this is kind of how they'll show up and how people can search them. Oh, Angel Ray, who's in the chat right now, offers voice tag services.
There you go.
So to give you an example, we'll just look at her voice tag service. And she has her little description here. It says a custom beat tag that will get you 2 redos of the tag. If you don't want the first one when you order tag, please tell me what effects you would like added as well. So this is a great simple service of something that she does well, that she's ready to offer as an additional revenue stream on her for her beat store and for her business. So, I think there are little particular things that everybody, if they really think about it and sort of dig deep about what they're capable of, can figure out something that they can offer. Like we talk about all the time, I'm not a producer on the platform, but I do know the platform pretty well. I've learned a lot from great producers like Lee and everybody else that I've talked to over the last couple of years. And like Bufo was saying, I think something that I do for BeatStars, I make tutorials. I do these I do these live shows like this. Maybe I could offer my own version of a voice tag service. If anybody would like my annoying voice as a voice tag on their beats. So I think everybody can kind of think of some other things that they're good at. And it's always good, if we're thinking about ourselves as marketers and as business people, to not like box ourselves into only doing one thing, like making beats, right?
I think that's the key there. I think you said it was a really valid point. It's like not to box yourself in, right? Because you even do that. I think some of us do that as producers too, right? You don't necessarily always stick to creating the same type of beats, right? It's the same kind of thing, like don't put yourself in a box. And if there's something that there's Jamil's left us. I think he's just decided to leave us for some reason. I don't know why he's done that, but like don't think of think outside the box. Don't place yourself in a box. Think outside it. That's basically what Jamil was trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I said that as I made us 2 separate boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, we kind of do that quite often.
Sorry about that. I'll get my screen back on.
No, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, I think you guys and girls can kind of really, I think you can get to the grips of what we're actually talking about here, and go through. Actually, do what Jamil said. Go through the search services. Don't necessarily type in the search, but just look in particular for searches, like services. I think you can do that as well, Jamil, can't you? I think you just don't even have to. If you took it away in the voice tag section,
yeah, you can just look through services.
Just look through services and see what other people are offering. I think, if I remember rightly too, when someone adds a beat to their cart or something to their cart on the pro page, there's a bit at the bottom when they're in their cart. It's kind of a little bit of an upsell thing where it shows you a particular service that you're offering. So for anyone that isn't actually utilizing these services, I really suggest that you do, and just even if it's just something basic like mixing and mastering, because that's a potential upsell, right? It's a potential upsell. Like I said, at the beginning, you're selling beats, and you've now got the opportunity to sell a service like a mixing and mastering service. Which is a no-brainer, really. Like we're offering you the ability to be able to do that. Just use that feature and actually use that feature to your advantage. And again, thinking outside the box, think about things that you can use. I see a lot of people are mentioning about video editing and stuff like that, which is cool. Video editing is always a good thing. People always posting their videos on YouTube, logos, just saying a couple of things I'm thinking off the top of my head. And actually something that's kind of probably like we had last week, which was another really cool one, was music theory. So we get a lot of kind of new young producers on the platform too that are kind of joining every day, and they might not have a full ton of knowledge when it comes to music theory, they're just starting, that could be a really useful service that you're offering them. And you're providing some value back. And that basically goes down to everything that we say all the time when you're trying to make sales, or you're trying to build engagement on the platform, or anywhere in particular, is to offer value. So if you feel that you can, teach, music theory and stuff is something that you're really strong on, if you went to college to do that, blah, 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 offer it as a service. Why not? I thought that was actually a really great one, because I'd never seen that before. And when I saw that last week, I was like really impressed. So, things like that can really make you stand out for sure. Did you, by going through that, did you see anything that kind of stood out in those services that?
This one guy stood out to me: tutoring, FL Studio, how to sell beats, YouTube.
That's a cool one.
I can teach you whatever it is you want to know about beat making. So he says he'll do Discord, Zoom, phone calls, Google Hangouts. So, if you're a person that's confident in their knowledge of any particular subject, it's always a great idea, because you're not only like sharing your knowledge and sort of, I always found that, well, at least like what we're doing, we're kind of teaching you how to use BeatStars on here. It always helps me, I'm sure the same thing for you, Lee, understand more about BeatStars as we're doing this.
Yeah, of
Teaching
course.
is another way. Teaching is the best way to learn, actually, for yourself as well. So you're not only spreading knowledge, giving back to the community, but you're also enriching yourself in your own experience and knowledge, building up a resume, a reel, a portfolio, whatever you want to call it, of different things that you can do and offer. And you're making money at the same time for these services. So yeah, that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. I always think it's a good idea. So we were kind of scrolling through these right now. Feel free to just look through a lot of the services being offered. As you can see, some of the top producers on the site are offering services like Beat Demons offering mixing and mastering.
That's an interesting one at the top right.
Yeah. David Sonia is offering consultations as a service. So, I mean, there's so many possibilities. And I just want to quickly go back to voice tags.
Sure.
I mean, you scroll down a little bit and there's really not that many. So
there isn't actually.
So if you're a person that, you think you have an interesting voice tag, or you think you really know how to make them well, this might be the lane to enter.
Yeah, could well be actually. It actually could well be, because I'm even looking for a new voice tag.
Yeah, everybody needs voice tags. We hear too many just kind of like simple voice tags with just like a name and slightly edited. I think an interesting voice tag that sounds good can be another thing that sets you apart.
It's part of your marketing, isn't it? When you think about it, that's what it is. It is part of your marketing. So people hear your beats, they might not necessarily know it's you, and then they hear the voice tag, like, oh, I know that person. So yeah, it's market. So it's actually a really key. That's why voice tags came out in the first place. One, obviously, to protect your content, but also it's also another way that the producer can get their name heard. And you're posting your beats all over the place, YouTube, social media, and they've got your voice tag, and people start to get to know who you are. So people always need voice tags for sure. There's definitely plenty of other services outside of the BeatStars platform that offer that, but why do that when you've got all of these talented people and creative people on a BeatStars platform that you probably talk to on a daily basis? All of us do. Like, give something back to them. That's kind of, let's look out for one another. So yeah, that's why the services is really cool. Because you've not, this is the cool thing about it, right? Is you've not only got outside clients that come in, but you've also got inside clients. So people are already in the BeatStars community, and the BeatStars community is huge. So that, you think of it in that respect, how big that customer base could be, just to the people on the BeatStars platform, without even thinking about the people that visit the platform. So it's a huge market to think about. So that's why it's good. Like we said, think of something outside the box. Think of something that maybe even think of something that when you first started as a producer, what you would have benefited from. Like you could offer that as a service. Again, we could speak about this for days and weeks upon end, but you know, utilize the services for sure.
Right. I just want to go through kind of quickly actually how to do it.
Oh
We
yeah,
talked
we
a lot
better
about
do
the
that.
ideas. We
Actually.
actually haven't shown you how to do it yet.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when you go into the service metadata editor, it's going to look really familiar. It kind of just, it looks like, the track metadata editor, but with a few key differences. So obviously you can set a title. So let's just create a theoretical service right now. I was talking about voice tags earlier. Let's say custom voice tag service. All right, now for the pricing type, there's two different options. You can either offer it at a fixed rate, or you can do customer inquiry required. The difference between these two things is that if you offer it at a fixed rate, you could set the price. Let's say for a voice tag, I want to charge $30.
Yeah.
That means people can just buy it at any time without consulting you or talking to you first at this fixed rate. This could be a good idea for things like voice tags, things that are very simple that you expect to take a particular amount of time, and you can set the value at whatever you think your time is worth for that. The other option though is customer inquiry required.
Right.
And we'll kind of show you what that looks like a little bit more too, where this option, the customer is required to send a description of what they want first, and then you'll get to review that, and then you'll be able to send them a quote afterwards.
Yep.
So there's value in both of these, and they exist for two different reasons. The reason that you'd want to consider doing customer inquiry required, I can't say inquiry, it's such a hard word to say, customer inquiry required, is if you're offering a service that will kind of differ in the difficulty and the amount of work it'll require from you. So I think that's the key thing there to consider. Because if you're doing something a little bit more complex, like accompaniment, somebody could send you a beat that may require more work on your end to figure out exactly how to make that accompanying piece fit with the beat. And they may require a couple of revisions if they don't like it at first. So it's a good idea to consider that, because if you offer your service at a fixed rate and this person is asking for 3, 4, 5 revisions until you sort of get it right, well, you may have just scheduled yourself for hours upon hours of time commitment for a price that you no longer feel like it's worth it for you to be working on this.
Sure.
So those are the two reasons. So if it's simple, definitely use the fixed rate, because you want to simplify the process, because an inquiry is going to require a bit of back and forth with the quotes and the descriptions and sending the files. It's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah, but I think also just to add to that, Jamil, sorry for butting in.
No.
Something that we always talk about quite often is building relationships with people. So having that inquiry, someone inquiring about a service that you're offering, that's gonna spark a conversation. So kind of like, obviously you're gonna get some more information about what they exactly need, but you never know where that relationship can lead to. Whereas with a fixed offer, you kind of taken that out of the equation, right? So you're most likely potentially, they could potentially be, a consistent customer, but you're more likely going to achieve can't even say that, consistent customer by using a custom inquiry, because you're going to have that back and forth and you're going to build relationship. So you kind of really need to figure out and what's best suited for your type of business and exactly what you're trying to achieve. So that's kind of why we offer these two different options. And you can see, from what me and Jamil were saying, there's many benefits from using both. I just wanted to add in there about, having that communication with the client, because I think that's probably one of the most important things, I think, personally.
Right. So to go down the list a little bit here, for tags, 3 tags, the same thing as when you're uploading a beat. It's going to be working a little bit different than a beat, though, I would say, because if you have a service that's like a particular like thing, like let's say for custom voice tags, your 3 tags should just be 3 different ways to say it, just so you're covering all the bases of what people may search for. Whereas a beat, you may put the genre or the mood or whatever artist type beat that you think the beat evokes. So for something like this, I would just think of like 3 different names, cover all the bases of what people may be searching for. Category, if the category doesn't exist, if you're like offering something super unique, just kind of like press, kind of select whatever is the closest to it. This isn't so important that it's gonna like put you into like a different category where people can find you. This is for mostly for your pro page.
Yeah, so just an example of what you said there. Like if you're offering scratching services, you can use the DJ services option. So, there's probably some kind of category that you can fit it into, for sure.
In your description, I would try to include a few things. First of all, obviously describe what it is. So I would say like custom voice tag services, custom voice tag service. And I would probably try to describe the turnaround time. So if you can get it done in 48 hours, I would put 48-hour turnaround time. I would also include any experience or credentials that you may have been making voice tags for 26 years. Obviously, don't lie about that. I've only been alive for 26 years, but I've been using my voice for 26 years, so I think that's close enough.
That's true.
Those are just a few different ideas. Something that Levi and I noticed on a pro page last week, I believe, was that there was a service being offered by a producer, and it seemed like an interesting service, and they were charging a good price, but they didn't really describe or give any reason why you should buy the service from them. They just kind of just put like custom beat, and then they put their price, but they didn't say if they had any experience. They didn't include any examples of what their beats sound like. So it was just I think from a consumer standpoint, people want to see what they may be getting before they buy it.
Exactly.
So if you do on your pro page or on another website, if you do have like a portfolio or example to your work, that's another interesting thing to include, just so people know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, I agree. Provide as much information as possible is something that we always say.
So then what you can do, just set an image, and then that's basically it. Now we could just save the changes, and our service is published. Oh, you can also collaborate with people on services.
Yeah, that's another cool thing too. So you can collaborate as well. So that makes it even more kind of what's the word? You can make that even more outside the box, because you can come up with a service that you can collaborate on. So that's really, can't think of one off the top of my head right now, but well, if you was a mixing engineer and you knew someone that was a mastering engineer, just as a typical example, and you collaborated together and offered a mixing and mastering service instead of just a mixing or a mastering service on its own, you can do it that way. So, which is kind of cool.
Right. So once you publish your service, it'll appear in your feed, and then there's also a tab on your marketplace profile for your services that everybody can see here.
Yeah, you can also pin it to your feed if you wanted to as well.
Yeah. So if you have customer inquiry required, this is the information that people are going to be required to give you for you to review. So once people submit all this information, it'll appear, you'll get a notification in your account, and you'll be able to review it, add your own feedback, and then you could send them a quote. So these are just some of the things that I asked you before, just so you're aware of that. We go into a little bit more detail on this in the full tutorial for custom services that is on our YouTube page, and we just reposted it to the main BeatStars feed today. So check out your feed for that video if you want a little bit more information. What we can do, we're pretty much done with this now. Let's actually really quick, what we can do. Shall we just go into pro page reviews?
Yeah, I'm just getting one up now, actually.
All right, cool. So we can answer a few questions.
Yeah, let's answer a few questions first. See what questions we have. Do you see any interesting questions in there?
Somebody wants to collab with you on a voice type because your accent is interesting.
Oh, wow. Thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, Jay. Oh, Jay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, that's true. You can make it sound a little bit more interesting and think a bit outside of the box. Graphic designer, that's another good one. Anything kind of like that, any kind of services.
There's a question from Benny on YouTube. Do you see that?
Let's have a look. I'm trying to scroll up to have a look. Couple of questions. Okay. Can clients send files through BeatStars through the BeatStars site? How does it work when clients receive their files back? Do they pay before they hear the song? Can they preview before paying? So yeah, kind of the services is you offer the service, and then any kind of file sharing on it or anything like that back and forth is done outside of the platform. You're going to get their email. They're going to, you're going to see that they've purchased the service. You're going to reach out to them and ask them, okay, can you send me the files? If you're doing a mixed and mastering service, then you're going to kind of, that's why I feel it's kind of really cool to use the customer inquiry option for that reason. So you can get both work, of course, both really work really well. So yeah, so the files are not actually being sent through the BeatStars site. It will show up as a sales notification. You'll get notifications to say that you sold a service, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. And then you would just contact them via email or even through the main BeatStars platform if you wanted to. If they've got an account, you could contact them through the messaging feature. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything you want to add to that, Jimmy. I think I covered that pretty well. But
yeah, for custom inquiry, you can require a portion of the payment upfront.
Yeah, that's true.
Before the service is completed. So you can require 100% of the payment upfront, or you can require a little bit upfront, and then once it's been completed, then you can you could receive the rest of the payment from the customer.
Yeah, that's actually a cool way to do it. That is a cool. I never really thought that idea before, but yeah, that's definitely a cool way to do it.
It just gives the customers a little bit more confidence in you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually kind of a good thing to say. It kind of makes them feel like you are actually looking after them and you've got their best interest at heart, right? By, telling them, I'm not expecting all the money up front. If you pay, even if it's 50%, pay half now. I carry out the process, send you back a review. You review it. If you like it, then we can go on forward. So, yeah. So just to reiterate on that question that Benny said, yeah, it's kind of all done outside of the platform. Once they've purchased the service, you will then, email them and contact them directly.
All right. I just saw a new question come in. Do you have to pay an additional fee besides the monthly fee for every song or album you upload for distribution? No. You pay $199 a month and you can upload and distribute unlimited tracks.
Yep. Albums, singles, whatever you want to do. You can also collaborate on air as well, which is really cool.
And then I think we could probably just go into some pro page reviews now. Did everybody submit your pro pages already to beatstars.world/opportunities? Because we're checking them right now, so you could still submit.
Yep, I've grabbed one up already. I'll just share my screen. Yep. I'll try and see if I don't know if you have access to it, but I'm just trying to see if we've got one person in the chat. And the next one that we do, we can pick actually someone that's in the chat, so they're getting live feedback.
Right.
That would be kind of really cool. So if anyone's submitted already, let us know and we'll check that one out. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you should see this pro page. I kind of didn't click the X because I always do that. It's just a habit. So I Wanted to show, because we do this every week, and we always click on the X, and we can't show you guys the pop-up. So
we did this one last week, Lee.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Did we really? Oh yes, I recognize it. Okay, thank you. I need to.
We need to highlight that. We need to mark it. That was my
yeah. Okay, let's pick another one. Sorry about that. See if this one loads up.
That boy, buddy. Yeah, I mean, if you have distro, submit everything. Why not? It's unlimited. So just distribute everything. Just distribute everything you have.
Exactly. I think you're gonna like this one. This one looks pretty cool.
Oh, let's go.
This one looks really sick. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm actually really liking this. We didn't have the actual pop-up on this one, but colouring stands out. When I see it load up, I was like, God, this is really bright. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is something
your color scheme, though. I don't know how you feel about that. This is your color scheme with the pinkish purple.
Yeah. Well, they're using more pink, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's more pink.
Yeah. But it's cool. I really like it. I don't know where they stand using an image like that. I'm not sure how that works, but you may need to look into that.
Yeah, don't use any copyrighted images.
Yeah,
that you're not.
I would just watch that just in case, in case you potentially may get into any trouble here. But it looks pretty cool. I agree. It does look pretty dope. We don't see this very often, which is kind of cool. With the Facebook Messenger integration, which is cool. It's another way to create communication with your clients potentially. Got a lot of tabs going up here, so it looks like they're offering quite a bit. Since we've been talking about services, I'm quite intrigued to see what kind of services they're offering, which is kind of really cool.
Who is this, by the way? Did you say their name?
It's called Quality Beats Only. That's what they've called themselves. So it's a bit difficult because I don't see any logo. Normally, you would see a logo up here. I can't see exactly what it says. It's been kind of blanked out a little bit. So I'd maybe suggest if you've got a particular logo, they have actually got one, because when you look at the search bar, you can actually see that they've used the favicon. So it looks like they've got a kind of a logo.
Right.
So I'd maybe use that somewhere on the page so you know that it's actually you. Oh, so they're using this is the block theme, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on block.
Yeah, which is cool. Featured track, which is, always like to see that.
Sticking with the Migos theme, I see. Bougie.
Yeah, Travis Scott, Don Toliver. Yeah, you've got a mixture of stuff going on here. I've been some free downloads as well, which is cool.
It's hard for me to see the artists. What are the kind of artists that?
So we've got Burna Boy, The Baby, Drake, UK Drill, 21 Savage, Mulatto, J Balvin, Fivio Foreign, which is not one I see often, Lo-Fi. So it's kind of a mixture, and they're also using some moods as well, and kind of particular instruments they're using. So there's flute, sad, hard. Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, it's cool that you're using kind of a bit of a mixture.
Play the J Balvin track for a little bit. Let's hear
it. I'm not sure if I shared my audio.
Just try it out. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear it.
Okay.
It's playing. Can you hear it?
No, I can't.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll do that next week. My bad. I forgot to share my audio. It's because we're not used to doing that. But yeah, we normally maybe play one or two tracks each week. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what other tracks you've got going on here as well. Kind of keeping a kind of a random with the images, which is kind of cool, keeping it a little bit more interesting. There's quite a lot. Pop Smoke, Polo G, Juice WRLD. Yeah, it's all pretty good. What else we got going on? Let's go down to the licenses. Yep. Pricing's good. The details as well. Storm Kills It. Oh, so it's Storm Kills It. So maybe their producer name is a little bit different to what they've actually called their pro page. So it's still
interesting. Yeah, I think that's something that maybe we would say to work on.
It is actually
a little
called
bit confusing.
Yeah, it's actually called Storm. Yeah, when I go back and see the submission, it does actually say Storm kills it. So memberships, offering some memberships, which is cool. Services, here we go. Custom beats. So we're offering non-exclusive and exclusive. Let's click on one of them and see what it says. Yeah, so this is kind of what we was talking about. This was actually what we found out. Was it last week? Someone was offering custom beat, and there's no description. You're kind of not really explaining. Like you're offering it for $800, which is cool, and you've just said it's custom beat by Storm's kill it. So I would, you need to maybe provide a bit more information here. What kind of, they can obviously kind of tell what kind of genres you make, but from the tracks that you upload, but it would also be cool to provide some more information just to upsell yourself a little bit,
Yeah.
So overall, I kind of like it. Cool. Got some good views on YouTube. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts overall?
I like it. I think it's a good pro page. I like that all the different things like the memberships, the services. Seems like they're really taking full advantage of BeatStars. I would just work on the branding a little bit more. Maybe maybe check out this biography because I don't think that picked the way that you wanted it to.
Yeah, looks like there might be some
there might have been some kind of error in attaching that.
Yeah, so I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point, by the way. See when you're ever making changes, like whether it's pricing, anything like that, make sure you double check that you've submitted stuff properly. And so if you're changing your bio, for argument's sake, like in this situation, you've probably never really checked to see if it actually worked, or if it's, because this could potentially make it look a little bit more unprofessional in my eyes, without being too critical.
Right.
But yeah, if you're going to do anything like that, just make sure you check the changes, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just check it out really quick. I would also check out the round theme. The block theme is super cool. Round theme is a little bit like newer. I feel like it has a little bit of a cleaner aesthetic, in my opinion, personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, just work on the branding a little bit more is all I would say. Dropped my phone and headphones.
Did you see anyone? Did anyone in the chat say that they dropped their links at all? Jay Florin, I see he was in the chat. Buffo, we've already viewed yours, so good try, man.
He asks every week, and I'm like, we got to you like months ago.
Yeah. So let me bring up Jay because I did actually. He was the first one that I saw that was actually in the chat. If you've got any questions as well, before we've got about 10-15 minutes left. So if you have any questions that you want to ask us today, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to what we've spoken about. But fire away, ask us some questions. So yeah, another impressive. They're using round theme here. My first thing I would say is just this black. Maybe change that to actually say J Florin, right? If that's what your name is. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Because that's kind of a little bit doesn't really go with what you've got. So even if it was just JF, could just have JF or something like that. Or if you've got a logo.
Yeah, you can upload an image there as well as text.
Because the black is basically the name of the theme that you've used, and obviously you've edited it. If I can say it properly. And we're having struggling with our words today. Yeah, but I really like this main background image. I really like that. It looks really, really professional. I did see a pop-up, but it just kind of disappeared. I don't know if you actually see that come up, but it did.
I saw it briefly.
Yeah, it popped up and just disappeared. You've got the chat, so you're using that feature, which is cool. Let's see what kind of tracks you've got. Gashi, Retro, Tiller. So you've got a couple of Tiller tracks that you can add to the playlist. Make sure you do that. Tory Lanez, Daystar. Can't really see what that is. I don't recognize that name, but that's cool if you're using something I don't recognize for sure. Let me go back. That was weird. The Weeknd, Juice WRLD, Chris Brown, Tiger, G-Eazy, Moneybag, Meek Mill. It's cool. Yeah, some cool stuff there. I like the image, the artwork as well.
Yeah, I like the artwork.
It's kind of really interesting.
And I don't know. I'm a big fan of like artwork that's like where they all have a similar vibe, but they're unique in their own way. Where it's kind of like if somebody was just scrolling through the marketplace, then they could easily tell like whose beats those are just from the image.
Oh, that's interesting. So Jay has mentioned that Daystar Peterson is Tory Lanez's real name, so that's why he's used that. That's actually kind of really interesting. I never really, yeah. So he's tagged it as Tory Lanez, but he's also used his actual real name. It's kind of cool. But yeah, the artwork is really dope. It's something that I've took on board. It was something that you said to me actually when you mentioned about the artwork. And I've took that on board now, so I'm kind of making my artwork a bit more consistent from track to track. So I'm taking, so even I'm learning in these sessions, people, even I'm learning. Licensing information. Yeah, try to maybe add a bit more description here. We can see you've got a little bit here. Try and add a bit more. Just going back to like what we said about the services that the last pro page that we looked at, they was offering. You know, provide as much information as you can with these. We've done a couple of these BeatStars Academy shows, and we mention this quite often each week. So feel free to go back and watch those, and we'll give you a bit more of an explanation as to why that's important. We won't go over that today. Sound kits, a couple of sound kits, which is cool, and they're offering service too. So single art cover. So we can see, again, like going back to your artwork, we can see that that's something that you're really good at. So you're utilizing that because you know it's something that you're really cool and good at. So yeah, that's a great service to offer. See if there's any more. It's a fixed price.
Yeah, I think like artwork or an art cover is like a good thing to offer at a fixed price.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Can you click on the sound kits? There's just one thing I wanted to mention about them. I have the page open on my tab too.
Which one do you want me to look at?
Either one. So I think you could do a little bit more with the description here. So it just says, you know, the loop kit contains these like sound loops from various VSTs and effects. I would put a little bit more description to give like a little bit of preview of maybe what they sound like.
Yeah.
Because kind of at this stage, it's kind of like vague, right? Like people might not know exactly what type of sound. So some people, they specify this is, you know, I have guitar loops or, you know, just like whatever, like a little bit more description. We found out a couple of weeks ago that, or we showed on the show a couple of weeks ago, I should say, we knew for a little bit longer, that you could actually paste a video link into the sound kits area. So it might be a good idea for you to actually gather all those loops, create a video out of them so people can hear the loops before they purchase them.
Yeah, you also have the option to add examples when you upload sound kits too. So provide a couple of examples. I had a guitar loop kit once, and I provided a couple of samples so people could listen to them, because currently they don't know what they're buying. They don't know what instruments you're using. Is it synths? Is it bass? Is it guitar? Is it trumpet? Currently people don't know exactly what they're buying. You know, they can reach out to you, of course, if they want to, and ask you, of course. But if you're providing the information already there and you're showing them some examples, you know, that's going to give you more of an opportunity, especially if they're really dope. It's going to give you more of an opportunity to actually, you know, make a sale. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, and let us go and view that.
Because right now I'm assuming it's like lightsaber sounds, which would be super dope. But I'd like to hear them before I buy them too.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that was That's actually kind of a cool. That's not a bad thing to offer. And this service, it says exactly the same. Yeah. So yeah, definitely look into adding a bit more description of what you're actually offering them. So, but overall, I actually really like this. Couple of things I would just, think about changing that. Even if it's just, if you don't have a logo, we can see that you've got some kind of logo going on here, but just change it to JF or however you want to word it. I think JF would be actually pretty cool, considering you've got JF there. Yeah, but overall, I think these 2 pro pages have been really dope. I think they're really, really cool.
Yeah. Wait. Can you? I'll wait. I'll share my screen really quick.
Sure.
I just I want to wait.
Are you sharing it?
Oh, I think I have to stop my thing first. Where is it? Let's listen to a song. Let's listen to
Okay, yeah, let's pick one.
Let's listen to this Ed Sheeran Ariana Grande one. I like the way Ed Sheeran looks in this one. He looks kind of like Harry Potter. So I want to listen to this one.
Okay.
On the track. On the track.
You should offer custom tag services too.
Yeah,
that's a cool tag. All right, guys, I just wanted to play a little bit of that. We can, the time for the show is almost up, but thank you for submitting again, J4. And we hope that you got some useful info out of this.
Thanks for submitting. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, you have took something away. That's kind of why I wanted to do, pick someone live. And we're sorry if we've missed anyone else. We just picked them at random. And that just means you got to join the show every week. Basically, if you want us to preview your pro page and give you some good feedback, then come in and join us next week.
Yeah, we are taking submissions from the chat, but the only way to absolutely guarantee your pro page will be reviewed is to submit it through that form that we showed you in the beginning of the episode.
Exactly. So if you are submitting, of course, please make sure you join. You can obviously go back and watch these videos again because they are recorded. You can watch them either on our YouTube channel or on Twitch channel. But you ideally, because especially if you have any particular questions that you want to ask whilst we're speaking about your pro page, it makes more sense for you to be in the chat at the time. So
right.
Cool.
We can answer any last minute questions.
Yes, we have a couple of minutes left,
and then we could wrap it up because we're about done.
Yeah. Just checking to see if I see any questions. Jay's laughing about the Harry Potter comment that you mentioned.
Damn, that was mean.
Cloud9 is actually asked the question: will there be a way coming soon where we can sell maybe a 50-page ebook or packaged tutorial videos? I guess these can be services.
You can do that as a service.
Yeah, you could do easily. Yeah, because you're providing a service, and then you can send them a link to the ebook or some tutorial videos or something like that. It's cool. You might want Jamil to be your man to head up the tutorials as he's killing them right now.
All right, let's see.
I can't see any other questions. Hopefully, everyone's enjoyed today's show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's MEC Club again tomorrow with DJ Pain 1, and I think he has Amito Beats as far as I'm aware. He's joining tomorrow. What's Friday? Do we have anything Friday?
Is Friday By My Beat? No, we did that last week, so not yet. Let me see. We can check it out really quick.
Yeah, sure. Just so we
Make
can
sure
let
to follow
people know.
BeatStars on social media,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter. For every Monday, we post the full schedule lineup for the week, so you
Yes.
can keep track. We have the Road to 1 Million on Friday.
Cool, that's it. I knew there was one there. Yeah, Road to 1 Million. You can obviously find out all of this information on our socials, Instagram, Twitter. We're always posting on these. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining. Make sure you tune in next week for some more exclusive stuff, for some more pro page reviews. Yeah, on that note, thanks everyone for joining.
All right.
Peace.
Later.